A little backstory when this happened. I was 22 years old and had just graduated from college with a bachelor's degree in computer programming and was feeling like a hotshot. I moved into a nice little studio apartment, which was actually a motel room at one point, before the apartment company took over and did renovations. The area was nice, with lots of trees, beautiful views, and a small river that ran behind the apartments. Being situated 10 miles outside of the city meant that there were not that many people who frequented our area, but I was glad of that, as it would be nice to have some peace and quiet to focus on my programming and web design skills. I remember hearing everyone in high school and college rambling about being on the deep or dark web, as you may say. The uses are actually quite interchangeable. However, they also are two very different parts of the internet as a whole. You have the clear net, which can be accessed by anyone with an internet connection and search engines such as Google. Then you have the deep web, which is the greater part of the internet that is hidden and cannot be accessed without a special program or browser such as Tor. And finally, part of and inside of the deep web, you have the dark web, or even dark net, where most of the horrific stories you hear about take place. Hearing all these stories from either friends, or from reading them online over the years, intrigued me and set me on the career path that, at the time, I thought I truly wanted. Now, not so much. My goal was simple: to create a program that would run without the use of a script, that would actually be disguised as a picture file. If someone opened the file, then my program would execute and be able to look directly into the computer system's full log records, and would be able to sniff out the original IP address of the affected computer, as well as any personal information such as names, birthdays, credit card numbers, etc. Now, I know what you are thinking. I was definitely up to no good in creating a program like this, but you would be completely wrong. After hearing of some of the truly horrifying people that hide on the dark web, and seeing as many of the stories end with those same people never getting caught, I could not fathom why nobody made a program to catch these people. I worked out how I could catch these people, think like, and to pretend to be one of those people. When I had finally compiled the program, compressed it down to less than 1 megabyte, and disguised it like a picture file I planned to use, I was ready to test it out. I pulled out my old junky laptop that I used for school. The thing was a pure piece of shit, and the perfect testbed for anything that I created. I connected the laptop to the internet and created a test email and sent the file. I had to test different methods of delivery, so I also used a private Dropbox so I could test email delivery and opening, direct placement from a flash drive, and the big one that I was counting on, downloading the file and opening it from the internet outside of email programs. When all three methods worked and started sending the plethora of data to my main laptop in the form of updated notepads, I jumped for joy. I thought to myself, so, basic IP and personal information sniffing works. What about if they are pros, using multiple VPNs and the like? I installed 2 separate VPN programs on my test laptop and even connected to a proxy server through them to test the results. They still came back the same, just showing the additional IP addresses from the VPN. I was now ready to hunt these people. My studying in school paid off, having allowed me the knowledge to be able to create this amazing tool. I would make my own TV show like Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator, but mine would be called To Catch a Weather. Yes, my ego was extremely high at the time, but I could not celebrate, not until I knew that it 100% worked, without a doubt, against a third party. This is when things really began to get interesting. I had Tor and the hidden wiki opened up, my VPN fully configured, and I was ready to go. I wanted to get to the dark web, and most people find it by clicking something randomly. I selected a random site from the hidden wiki to begin my journey. Just a basic news board, mainly spreading support to those who are oppressed around the world. I clicked on another link, and it took me to a blank page. I waited a few seconds, and still nothing, so I went back and tried another link. This one took me to some jewellery site. After reading some, I noticed the end of each ad boasted that the jewellery was stolen from graves, fresh and old, with some being claimed to be thousands of years old. Like most sites on the deep and dark web, Bitcoin was a currency in use on the website. I saw enough there and was about to go back and try another link, when a chat box popped up with a generic name, admin, followed by a message. "Hello, welcome to our site. Everything here is 100% authentic, antique and unique. Is there anything specific you are looking for today?" I must admit, I wasn't caught off guard at all. With normal online stores, this is pretty standard protocol. I typed out my reply confidently. I was actually just looking at your selection. So much to choose from. It's a little overwhelming, and I am just mainly browsing." Within literally 5 seconds, I had a reply from the admin. "We look forward to seeing your purchase. Please let us know if we can assist you further." Okay, now that seriously took me back. They told me they look forward to seeing my purchase. Fuck that, I clicked out without even replying. I had double checked my setup and I was still 100% anonymous. My VPN was still working, so that erased my paranoia. I clicked on the link, and this time I was taken to a black web page with white text in the centre. I could not read the text. In fact, when I looked closer, it didn't even look like any real writing at all. I clicked it and a box popped up, asking for what I am assuming was login info. Obviously I didn't have that, but oddly enough, yet another chat box popped up, and I just saw, "I got you." Info started being entered into the first box. The next screen I see is white, with what appeared to be a directory to many different areas. The chat box appeared again and read, "Enjoy and behave." I had no clue who this was, or where to even start in the directory. I know there are so many horrible people hiding on the dark web, so I wanted to stop the killers more than anything else. I heard so many stories of red rooms and people being kidnapped and used for others' pleasure and dying horrific deaths, and I had to help stop that. I was on a mission. I clicked a random link and the page slowly loaded. There were 3 pictures displayed: a storm, a green pasture in sunlight, and a knife. Obviously I clicked on the knife and was loaded into the dark web equivalent of a sick and sadistic Instagram of death. I saw one picture of an older guy laying on a couch with a gag in his mouth, titled "Vomit Death." A small description said the poster thought it would be funny to watch their friend drown in their own drunken vomit. They went on to brag about how the gag relieved them of any legal responsibility in the death, because it was deemed a stupid drunken game. I wanted to nail that fucker, but continued on. Another image was of a young girl, probably early 20s, hanging from a tree with the title, "At Death I Part." The small description read, "You wanted till death do us part, now you have it, and I'm free." This one confused me then, and still does now, for a couple of reasons. Was this a suicide or a murder? And who posted it? The next picture I saw really caught my eye. It looked like one of the pieces of jewellery I had looked up on that jewellery site. A bracelet. In fact, the very one. The exact one that prompted the chat log to pop up. At this point I knew better than to click on it, but I was also arrogant in my ego and had full confidence in my program. I clicked the picture. This time there was a small handwritten note in the picture. "Hello, we need your business. You did not make a purchase." After reading that and feeling my heart practically stop, I was then automatically redirected back to the jewellery site and looking at the same damn bracelet. Immediately the chat box popped up with the admin and read, "We knew you would be back to make your purchase." I did not even know what to say before they added, "The site you were just on is also run by us. We help you log in so you could get a small taste of our different varieties of content. Access is subscription based, and you pay for access by buying our jewellery. Furthermore, if you do not make a purchase, then we will restrict further and future access to our sites, as well as release your browsing habits to your family and friends. You have 10 minutes to decide. I simply replied, "Searching is not a crime. I did not find much value in your other websites. I've seen better and I don't wear jewellery, so sorry. No sale." I felt like a smug bastard knowing they couldn't know who I am personally or even track me, but the reply I got shocked me. "Whatever sites contain the content you viewed is all under us. You don't know what you're getting into or how big our business is. Simply make a small purchase and we can move on." I get aggressive sales tactics, but this takes the cake in being intertwined with blackmail and extortion. I wouldn't have it and replied, "I refuse to be blackmailed or extorted by people or entities claiming to have false information on me. Unlike you people, I have proof of a better site that does not strong-arm their users. You cannot provide any information to me about me, like I'm sure you can others, and you know this." Admin typed back, "You have no proof. You are probably some kid acting out. Tell you what, show me your proof, and I will show you mine." Arrogant, and with the time I had been waiting for having arrived, I uploaded the image to a secure site and messaged them when it was done. I did not get a reply right away, but after about 3 minutes I knew they opened the image, thus executing the hidden program, because I started getting a plethora of log updates. This happened for about 5 minutes before the log stopped updating, and another 5 minutes before the admin finally came back and said, "I thought you had proof of a better site than ours, James. Truly I am disappointed, but not surprised. No site tops what we provide as a whole, and you do not even understand how deep things go. As for the picture of your cat, very sneaky, but you did not consider your one serious flaw, that anyone with knowledge on how your little toy works can reverse engineer it, dismantle it, and can find where the information is being sent to. You are in a very nice, secluded area, and easily traceable, unlike me, who is operating under many different aliases, stolen identities, and on throwaway laptops. I can be mobile in a matter of seconds, gone without a trace. Let me share a couple of things with you to help you make the wise choice in your situation. Our image site of the deceased that you saw and clicked through, well, some of those people are people who become an issue, and their jewellery, one of the millions of places we have available currently on top of what we have collected over the years. Now, are you going to make your purchase?" My jaw hit the floor. I was fucking speechless, and this lunatic was absolutely right. I did not account for being backtraced through my own program because of my arrogance, not to mention the fact that if they were really using multiple identities, tracking down the perp just isn't going to happen. I couldn't reply. I was frozen in fear when another bit of text popped up in the chat box. "James, I know you are still there. Just make a purchase, James, and we both disappear afterward and have no further contact. I don't want to send my associates to you. You haven't truly insulted us yet. Just make a purchase and this can all be done. Don't spit in the face of our work." I slammed my laptop to the ground and started stomping it out like the scene in Office Space where they beat the shit out of a printer. Pieces were flying all over the place, and it was just an unrecognisable pile of metal and bits. I was on a month-to-month lease at the time, and moved out the next day to another place in the city. It was more expensive and the location sucked, but knowing I had lots of others around me constantly made me feel safe, and still does. That was 3 years ago, and I am still living in the place I moved to after this happened. I have since stuck to web design, and have stayed far away from the deep and dark web. Nothing has come of this that I know of, but they could still be out there, watching and waiting, and then I may become part of their content.